Hello and welcome to our pre-recorded demonstration of Rapid eManage, information management software for contractors. A product of Rapid eManage Incorporated of Robbinsville, New Jersey, Rapid eManage is all-in-one information management software that allows contractors to collect, maintain, and utilize information your business can't do without. On the operations side of your business, you can't do without information on your customers and prospects, contracts, and much more. On the back office side of your business, accounting information is at the top of the can't do without list. Examples include payments made by customers and accounts receivable. Rapid eManage can automate information management for contractors of all sizes. Rapid eManage delivers this functionality for a price that is cost-effective, but more importantly, Rapid eManage will pay for itself quickly. And it is easy and cost-effective to allow additional employees to simultaneously use Rapid eManage if a contractor's business grows. If you like what you see in this demonstration, or if you have any questions about Rapid eManage, please contact me, John Chester, at area code 609-945-2389, extension 1002, or Terry Ike at extension 1007. Again, that's John Chester, area code 609-945-2389, extension 1002, or Terry Ike at extension 1007. We'll begin with some general information about Rapid eManage. Then we'll take a look at how Rapid eManage automates record keeping for the operations side of a contractor's business. Operations has to do with turning prospects into customers and serving new and repeat customers. This portion of the demonstration will begin with a prospect or repeat customer calling to schedule an appointment for the contractor to assess a project, and it will go all the way to the end of customer service, the contractor completing the work, inspection being carried out, the customer paying in full, and the sign being removed from the customer's premises. Then we'll finish by taking a look at functionality that can be accessed via the main toolbar of Rapid eManage. Highlights include outbound email and accounting. The former includes the nudge feature, an email template that can be automatically set to follow up on estimates. The fact that the nudge feature automatically follows up can create a new revenue stream for contractors using Rapid eManage. The nudge feature is one of 4 email templates in Rapid eManage that can be quickly and easily modified by contractors. They also can, in Rapid eManage, create their own emails to communicate with existing customers and prospects. Another new revenue stream can be created by using Rapid eManage to send out information on a special the contractor is offering via an email blast. For example, a roofing contractor could create the following email and send it to select recipients in the Rapid eManage database in mid-August of any year to generate additional revenue. Quote, "Fall is right around the corner. For us, that means gutter cleaning season. If you book your appointment before Labor Day for any time in October, just mention this email and we'll give you $10 off the cost," unquote. Rapid eManage also will allow the roofing contractor to attach to the email an image of a coupon for $10. One job or just a few jobs secured by the contractor by the nudge feature and or the ability to send out email blasts to conduct proactive marketing is why we say with confidence that Rapid eManage pays for itself quickly. In addition to paying for itself quickly, Rapid eManage will continue to positively impact a contractor's bottom line for as long as it is used. That's because Rapid eManage enables a contractor to run his or her business more efficiently. And a host of key benefits result from enhanced efficiency, including time saved and reduction of operating costs. Rapid eManage has built-in accounting functionality. Contractors currently employing a manual approach to accounting or an approach that involves a base level of automation, such as an Excel spreadsheet, will benefit. Rapid eManage also can benefit contractors using the world's leading accounting software for small business. Rapid eManage integrates with QuickBooks from Intuit Incorporated. A payment can be recorded in Rapid eManage and synchronized with QuickBooks and vice versa, eliminating the need for duplication of data entry. Let's now delve into general information on Rapid eManage with logging on to the demo version. There are two databases in the demo version. One is the demo/training database. The other is the main database. Upon accessing the demo version on www.rapidemanage.com, you will be prompted to select a database. For someone who is just starting to learn about Rapid eManage, it is recommended that the demo training database be used. It has 10 fictitious starter records. An additional 10 can be created. The demo training database cannot be upgraded to a full version of Rapid eManage because it cannot accept the license code, but it can be reset to its additional state, the 10 preloaded fictitious starter records. For a contractor who has decided to purchase Rapid eManage and wants to get a jump on inputting company information, it is recommended that the main database be used. It starts empty and also has a maximum of 20 records. The main database can be turned into a full version of Rapid eManage by inputting a license code. Let me shed some more light on my earlier mention of inputting company information. Before a contractor can use Rapid eManage, information that a contractor can't do without must be loaded into the software. Examples of that information include customers, prospects, contracts, services offered, and products used. Rapid eManage Incorporated can do all or some of that data input for an hourly fee, or the contractor can defray the cost of our professional services by inputting some of the data based on guidance from us. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the main database in the version of Rapid eManage on my laptop. I'll log in by entering my username and password. Upon logging in, Rapid eManage always will open to the main calendar page for the current day. The main calendar page can have up to 6 columns: appointments, jobs, repairs, maintenance, warranty, and other. But if there is no activity scheduled on a particular day, as is the case right now with today, August 2nd, 2012, all 6 columns will not be visible. In order to show you all 6 columns, I'm going to go to View Appointments on the main toolbar and click back to a day where I know activity took place so I can show you all 6 columns. That day is going to be July 25th. Another way to tell if activity took place in the past or if activity is scheduled in the future is the typeface of the date on the calendar. Bold means activity, such as the 10th and 11th of July. Regular typeface means no activity, such as the 12th and 13th of July. So we see for July 25th all 6 columns and 3 entries, 1 sales appointment that was turned into a job, and 2 repairs. These 3 entries were fictitious. They were the result of me doing in-person demonstrations of Rapid eManage. However, all of the information in my demo version of Rapid eManage is real: customers, salesmen, products, etc. This information is used with the permission of one of our Rapid eManage customers, a GAF Master Elite roofer located in central New Jersey. The second bit of general information on Rapid eManage is that there's only one way to close out of the software. That is accomplished by double-clicking on the X in the upper right corner of the main calendar page. The color of the X in operating systems, Vista and above is red. The color of the X in XP is default gray. Now the operating system on my laptop is Windows 7 Professional, so of course the color of this X is red. I'm not going to close out of Rapid eManage just to avoid having to log in again, but if I click once on the X in the upper right corner of the main calendar page, the main calendar page will behave like every other page in Rapid eManage, as a subpage. Clicking on the X in the upper right corner of a subpage takes you back to the previous page. Here's another example of a subpage. I'll go back to the main calendar page for July 25th. I then will pull up the sales appointment for an edge wall that was turned into a job. Double-clicking on the appointment brings up the View Call page. If I click once on the red X in the upper right corner of this page, I'll be taken back to the previous page, the main calendar page for July 25th. Function keys are next on the list of general information I'm sharing on Rapid eManage. There currently are 3 function keys active in Rapid eManage. F2 links with a blank call page. A blank new call page, I should say. F3 links with a blank call search page. And F4 links with a blank job search page. In the near future, we'll be adding 2 more function keys. Shift F1 will take you outside of Rapid eManage to YouTube videos about the software, and F1 will link to the user guide for the demo edition of Rapid eManage on the Rapid eManage website. A user of Rapid eManage should commit the function keys to memory. Currently, F2 New Call and F3 View Calls are present under Calls on the main toolbar, as you saw. And F4 View Jobs is present under Records on the main toolbar. Search pages are next. There are a number of search pages in Rapid eManage that can be accessed from the main toolbar. One example is the call search page, which is accessed by hitting F3 or by clicking Calls on the main toolbar and then View Calls. Another example is the customer search page, which is accessed by clicking Records on the main toolbar and then View Customers. A row of blue column headers divides each search page. For example, the column headers on the customer search page range from type to email. Above the column headers is the criteria area. Fill in information called search options in the criteria area and then click on search to obtain results. Below the column headers is the results area. Results of the search will appear here, and the results area will be blank until search is clicked. Let's conduct a search on the job search page, which is accessed by hitting F4 or by clicking Records on the main toolbar and then View Jobs. I simply click on Search and the results appear in the results area. Notice that the third blue column header, POC, which is short for point of contact, has an arrow. Clicking on the arrow will change the order in which the results are sorted. The results of the initial search came up Z to A. By clicking on the arrow, the results will now be sorted A to Z. On to the new call page, which is accessed by clicking New Call on the main toolbar. The new call page is used to record information from existing customers as well as prospects calling the contractor about potential work. The bulk of the screen to the right and on top is the call entry area. The other area to the left and below is the search area. The information initially displayed in the search area is controlled by two of the four vertical tabs. Customers, which is active now, it is dark blue, and Sites. Sites is synonymous with addresses. Clicking the Appointments tab brings up a calendar in the search area on which the sales call can be scheduled. And the Job tab is blank currently, but it will automatically become active once Rapid eManage identifies the caller as an existing customer for which the contractor has performed work in the past. Once the identification is made, the customer's job history will be visible in the search area. To make more or less of the call entry area visible, put the cursor on one of the vertical tabs, in this case Appointments, click and drag. And it works the same in reverse. The next topic is the construction of the job page. Pardon me, the jobs page, and give me just a second to tee that up. I'm going to go back to the calendar for July 25th. Here we are. The jobs page in Rapid eManage handles all aspects of servicing a new or a repeat customer. The jobs page encompasses a lot of functionality, from preparing an itemized estimate and submitting a contract to the prospect or repeat customer, to the contractor completing the job and the customer completing payment. As a result, the jobs page gets a lot of use by our customers, so it's important to know how it is constructed. Components of the construction include a row of blue details tabs above a row of blue column headers in the middle of the page. Details tabs are active, and as you saw earlier, I was clicking on them. Column headers are inactive, and to reiterate, if there is an arrow present on a column header, it means that the information can be resorted. Clicking on a blue details tab makes it active and brings up a unique set of column headers immediately below it. Clicking on each of the blue details tabs on the jobs page, from contacts to files, enables the users to access detail about that portion of the job. And as you can see, there is information present about this particular job on many, if not all, of the column headers. Just as an example, let's take a look at the contacts header, bringing up the contacts tab. It brings up 6 column headers starting at POC, point of contact, and ranging to email address. And clicking on the Files tab brings up just 2 column headers, file name, and modified date. Now moving to the top portion of the page, it obviously is gray. It contains a summary information on the job. The information below the blue column headers is detail, such as the listings of general notes on the 26th of July. Moving back to the top of the page, there is a pull-down menu that can be accessed by right-clicking. It contains 16 options from preview to add to email list. In addition, there is a different pull-down menu in the bottom of the page that is associated with each active Blue Details tab. So, for contacts, you can see one option set as primary POC. For schedule, there currently are 4 options available. And we'll do one more, invoices and payments. That will bring up a pull-down menu with 6 options. Now I'd like to zero in a bit on POC. This is the Blue Details tab on the far left of the Jobs page. POC stands for Point of Contact. And in Rapid eManage, there can be 2 classes of POC, main and related. And for each main POC, there can be an unlimited number of related POCs. And in this case, we have Mike Hersom as the main POC. And we have Mr. John Smith, Esquire of Smith Law Firm as a related POC. Why did we deem this functionality important to include? It is ideal for jobs at certain types of locations. One example is a residence owned by a landlord in which a tenant is living. Another is an apartment building that has a property manager on site. For example, the landlord of the residence and the owner of the apartment building could be designated as the main POC, point of contact, and the tenant and property manager can be designated as related POCs. The main POC could be contacted regarding things like the estimate, contract, and billing, and the related could be the POC contacted regarding scheduling, issues on the premises, etc. Last but definitely not least, our general information about Rapid eManage will conclude with some information on the System Settings page. It is accessed by clicking Administration on the main toolbar and then Settings and System Settings. The System Settings page is home to the back end of the General Sales Appointment blocks and Call Questions, both of which are on the new Call page. The General Sales Appointment blocks and Call Questions can be created and modified quickly and easily. First, I will reactivate a General Sales Appointment block called Morning 2. And you can see that's Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, with the default number of appointments in the block at 5. And to reactivate, I simply put a check mark in the block active box and click Save. Going now to the new Call page, we can see that Morning 2 is now back. Now, in order to deactivate Morning 2, all I have to do is go back to the System Settings page and remove the check mark from the block active box. And when we return to the New Calls page, Morning 2 will be gone again. As you can see. Call Questions are next. Call Questions were a customer-related feature that has been built into Rapid eManage. And let me just go back to where Call Questions are on the System Settings page. Up to 3 questions can be asked of the caller to secure what the contractor deems to be important information. And the contractor cannot proceed past the new call page without answering the questions. I'll show you now how easy it is to create and deactivate a call question. To create, I'll simply type the question into the new question field. Next, I'll click on Add Answer at the bottom and type in the answers. I'll repeat this for as many answers as I deem appropriate. I will mark this active and I will save by clicking Save and saying yes to save changes. We then will return to the new call page. Our third question is visible with the answers in the pull-down menu, and it is just as simple to deactivate. I will go back to the system settings page. Make the question inactive by removing the check mark, hitting save. Upon returning to the new call page, the question is now gone. The system settings page also is home to the back end of the email templates that a contractor can send to customers and prospects. Give me just a second and I will return to the system settings page. Okay, here we are. 4 email templates, proposals or estimates, follow up on proposal or estimate, invoice, and thank you are built into Rapid eManage. And here's just a look at what a proposal email could look like. Now, contractors can quickly and easily change the wording of these email templates. And contractors also can create on the system settings page an unlimited number of email templates that they can send to existing customers and prospects. An example that I have created in the demo is Email Blast for $10 off on gutter cleaning, which you can see here. In order to create a new email template, click on Templates in the left corner and then Add Templates in the lower right. We then add a template name. And then, borrowing again from my Email Blast template, we would fill in the subject here. We would fill in the body, and we would simply put a check mark in the active box. And if you wanted to add an attachment that is currently outside of Rapid eManage on a hard drive, a network drive, a thumb drive, etc., click on Add Attachment. With all email templates, you can send a test email to one address to see how the email looks before sending out the blast in volume. That concludes the first part of our pre-recorded demonstration on Rapid eManage, information management software for contractors. Now let's begin the second part. As mentioned above, we'll take a look at how Rapid eManage automates record keeping for the operations side of a contractor's business. Operations has to do with turning prospects into customers and serving new and repeat customers. This portion of the demonstration will begin with a prospect or repeat customer calling to schedule an appointment for the contractor to assess a project, and it will go all the way to the end of customer service. The contractor completing the work, inspection being carried out, the customer paying in full, and the sign being removed from the customer's premises. In this part of the demonstration, I may repeat some of the information mentioned earlier in Part 1, General Information about Rapid eManage. Our intent in making this pre-recorded demonstration available at your convenience is to provide you with a high level of insight into Rapid eManage. We start the second part of the demonstration on the main calendar page. And upon receiving a phone call from a new prospect or an existing customer for reasons including an estimate for a new job, additional work on a job that is in progress, or a repair covered by warranty, click on Calls and then on New Call to reach the New Call page. As I mentioned earlier, the bulk of the screen to the right and on top is the call entry area. The other area to the left and below is the search area. Let's say that the caller provides me with an address. I'll use an address I frequently use when demonstrating Rapid eManage, so I've clicked on the Sites tab to bring up the addresses in the database. And with each keystroke I make in the address field, Rapid eManage searches for a match. As you can see, each keystroke causes the information in the search area to change, narrowing the search. Keep in mind that a search also can be conducted using the caller's name with the Customers tab active. I found what I was searching for, 2061 Kinter. By then double-clicking on the customer's name, Rapid eManage will fill in as much information as is in the database on the customer in the fields at the top of the call entry area. In this case, the information in the database is name, address, city, state, and zip code. Double-clicking on the customer's name caused something else to happen. The vertical Jobs tab turned dark blue, which means it is active, and the customer's history appeared in the search area. The customer history is long since I used this customer to demonstrate Rapid eManage. The history consists of two types of records: completed jobs or inquiries and estimates that were not turned into jobs. A quick aside, if you will. For some completed jobs, a warranty can still be in effect at the address even if an ownership change has occurred. If the call is about a job that has been completed, click on it. Rapid eManage will automatically ask whether the job is a warranty repair. Options to click on the screen are yes or no. I'm going to click yes and close out the page in order to get us back on track, since this part of the demonstration simulates a new call. However, it is important for you to know that Rapid eManage will automatically ask about a warranty repair. So give me a few seconds and I'll get us back to 2061 Kinter. Okay, we're back. Again, the customer information in the database has populated the fields at the top of the call entry area, and the Jobs tab is active. Now, use the pull-down menu on Service Rec, that is short for Service Requested, to record the type of work the customer wants done. You must choose one of the services in the pull-down menu. If what you enter is not on the list, you will receive an alert and will not be able to continue until you select a service in the pull-down menu. As you can see in the customer history, the service requested I use in demonstrating this customer is Etchwall, so Etchwall it is once again. Next, I'll set the customer's availability, selecting one of the general appointment blocks listed next to availability. As I mentioned earlier, the general appointment blocks are created and deactivated quickly and easily on the system settings page. So in our demonstration, the customer says that he is available in the evening. Prior to putting a check in the evening box, I'll make the Appointments tab active. As you can see, the calendar is visible in the search area, and each active block is visible on the calendar, and there are 4 active blocks: morning, afternoon, evening, and gutter cleaning 1. And I'll just drag the screen over a little more so you can see it a bit better. By putting a check in the evening box, the cursor will go to today's date, August 3rd, 2012, in the search area. And now, evening is the only general appointment block visible. The other 3 general appointment blocks, morning, afternoon, and gutter cleaning 1, have disappeared. In case you want to schedule the appointment for a day other than the current day, the 4 arrow keys on the computer's keyboard can be used to move the cursor to the desired date. As I mentioned earlier, to reveal more of the calendar, I put the cursor on one of the vertical tabs, I click and drag it to the right, and then to bring it back, I will click and drag it to the left. Next, I'm going to click on the block on the desired date, and a color will appear. It is blue, which means that there are 3 or more appointments remaining in this general appointment block. If 2 appointments remained, yellow would be visible, and if 1 appointment remained, red would be visible. No color indicates the block is full, and in that case, you would have the option of setting the sales appointment manually with a scheduled start and end time. I'll go over setting an appointment manually in a few seconds. If you want to know exactly how many appointments remain in the block, click on the color. In this case, there are 5 available between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Before I set the sales appointment in the general appointment block, let me show you the manual option. It allows you to overbook, exceed the default number of appointments in the general appointment block. It also lets you schedule sales appointments in instances when the prospect or repeat customer needs an exact start time. Here's an example. The prospect has to leave for the airport to go on vacation at a certain time. Thus, the salesperson would need to arrive up to an hour prior. The manual option is available in the pull-down menu under Appointment. Clicking Manual Appointment brings up 3 new fields. On the same line and to the right is a date field. You can see here it's set on today's date, August 3rd. And on the line below there are 2 time fields, a start and a finish. So we could, for example, manually set an appointment for today from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I'm not going to do that, but I am now going to click out of the manual appointment, return to the new call page to start fresh, bring us back to 2061 Kinter. This will take just a few seconds. Okay, I'm now back to where we were prior to setting the appointment manually. Next, we'll work through the call questions, which, as I mentioned earlier, are a customer requested feature that we built into Rapid eManage. The call questions allow contractors to capture what they deem to be additional meaningful information about who is calling. So to how many stories is your building, we're going to say 3 or more. How did you hear about us? We're going to say word of mouth. And as I mentioned earlier, there is the possibility for a contractor to add a 3rd call question here as well. Next, we have the comments field. And the information entered in the comments field will carry over to the Notes Blue Details tab on the Jobs page, assuming that this call is turned into a job. And just give me a few seconds to enter a few notes. Okay, there we've got our notes. Now to complete our sales appointment, we're going to click Save in the lower right corner. You then will have the option to print out a paper copy. In this case, I am not going to print out a paper copy. Retrieve the call record by going to Calls on the main toolbar. Then click on View Calls to bring up the call search page. Here, you can search by filling in one or more fields in the top of the screen. I am going to search by address. Three fields: call status, salesman, and APPT status, short for appointment, have a pull-down menu. In this case, a call for a new job by a prospect or a repeat customer, open would be in the call status field. That's because a salesman has not visited the prospect or repeat customer to assess the job. Then hit search. Our record is first in the list. Clicking on the record in the bottom half of the screen, below the row of blue column headers, brings up the record on the View Call page. The background of the page is gray. The left column has the information entered on the New Calls page about the customer and service required, and there is one item in the right column. The call status is listed as open since the sales call is upcoming. If the call status is open, there are 7 options in the pull-down menu, which is accessed by right-clicking, Assign Salesman, Edit Call, Generate Proposal, Close Call, Assign to Existing Job, Preview, and Print. And we'll walk through each of these individually. I did not assign a salesman earlier, so I'll do so by clicking the first option. Paul Drum is now assigned. Selecting Edit Call also takes the user back to the New Calls page. The user can make whatever changes are necessary, such as moving a sales call from one general appointment block to another. Selecting Generate Proposal moves the user forward to the Jobs page. Generation of a proposal will be discussed in detail shortly. If the prospect or repeat customer decides not to proceed with the job, click on Close Call. No further action is required. I'm going to click Close Call because if a call is accidentally closed, it can be reopened by right-clicking on the View Call page. And in the pull-down menu, we see Reinstate Call as an option. We click on Reinstate Call, and yes, the call status had been closed. It's now open again. If this call status was closed, the person's contact information will remain in Rapid eManage, and that's a benefit because it can be accessed in the future by the contractor for reasons including the following: if the person calls again seeking an estimate, or if the contractor wants to proactively market to the person in the future. Now, clicking on Preview Call in the pull-down menu displays how the information on the View Call page, the call report, would look on a printed document. And this may take a few seconds to pull up, but there we have it. Now, the call report can be printed by going back to the pull-down menu and clicking on Print, or it can be closed out by clicking on the X in the upper right corner of the screen. The X here is red in Vista and above, and again, I have Windows 7 Professional. It would be gray in XP. If Print is clicked, a standard Windows print screen will enable the user to select to which printer the electronic version of the call report will be sent to be printed. There are two other possibilities for call status on the View Calls page: closed and converted to job. Give me a few seconds to call up an example of a closed call status. If the call status is closed, the options in the pull-down menu accessed by right-clicking, again, reinstate call, preview, and print. Let's now take a look at an example of call status converted to job, a fictitious job from July 25th, 2012. Again, please allow me a few seconds. If the call status is converted to job, the options in the right-click pull-down menu are View Job Proposal, Preview, and Print. Now, selecting View Job Proposal brings the user to the jobs page, which will be discussed below. Let's now go back to our 2061 record and generate a proposal, and I'll need a few seconds to bring that record back up. We'll move forward in the process. If I right-click into the pull-down menu and I click Generate Proposal with the call status open, that will move us forward to the jobs page. And yes, I do want to generate a proposal. As you can see, the screen has changed from the gray of the View Call page to two colors: gray at the top of the jobs page and white at the bottom. The page is separated by a row of blue Details tabs, which I'm clicking, and a row of blue column headers. Now, the Details tabs are active. The column headers are not active. To make a blue Details tab active, you would click on it. The color will change to dark blue, and as you probably have seen with each of the blue Details tabs, there is a different, unique set of column headers. Now, the jobs page is divided into two areas: general information at the top, and there will be detail at the bottom under each blue Details tab. And there is some information currently under the Contacts tab, specifically POC, Point of Contact. Now, the top of the screen is everything above the row of blue Details tabs: contacts, itemized estimates, etc. And the bottom of the screen begins with the column headers. Now, the general information portion displays the following information, starting with job number, which now has been assigned, job address, job type, job status, account status, etc. In the left-hand column, we've retained the customer name. We also have had permit status, sign status, and contractor pop up. And we will use contractor in the event that a subcontractor is assigned to a job. Since we haven't sold the job yet, I'm not going to do anything regarding a subcontractor. Give me a little time and I will handle it as we go along. Right-clicking in the general information portion of the screen brings up a massive pull-down menu. It's also generally known as a context menu with a large number of options, and most of these have additional options designated by an arrow. An example is Update Job Status, 6 additional options: Estimates Sent, job sold, job declined, in progress, complete, and on hold. Another example, update job type, which then has 4 options: installation, repair, maintenance, and other. And as you can see, there are additional options coming from those as well. It is strongly advised that customers interested in purchasing Rapid eManage take the time to review all of the functionality that is available via right-clicking in the general information portion of the jobs page. We believe that you will find the functionality comprehensive. You'll become adept at using it as you go along. Now, right-clicking in the detail portion of the screen, again, the bottom of the screen, brings up a pull-down menu that applies to the particular blue details tab that is active. An example is to have the blue details tab contacts active, and I've right-clicked, and I only have one option, set as primary POC, with POC standing for point of contact. Back to generating a proposal, which begins with the creation of an itemized estimate for internal use. On the jobs page, make the itemized estimate blue details tab active by clicking on it. Doing so brings up the following column headers: product, type, unit price, quantity, and total price. Put the cursor in the white open area below the blue column headers and right-click. One option will result, add item. Clicking on it brings up the product search page. The format of the product search page consists of search fields at the top with results displayed at the bottom below the row of blue column headers. In the search area are 5 fields: product name, manufacturer, type, color, and status. The information in the pull-down menus for manufacturer, type, and color is different for each customer of Rapid eManage, and that information absolutely, positively needs to be present in the software for the contractor to use. We can enter that information for an hourly fee as part of getting a new customer up and running, or the customer can do so with us providing guidance in order to defray the cost of professional services. The customer can then keep the information current by adding new manufacturers, types, and or colors as active, and by making previously active manufacturers, types, and or colors inactive. Now, the type field is used to search for the products entered from a particular manufacturer. Let's use Lifetime Shingles as the example. And I'll select Lifetime Shingles from the pull-down menu in the type field. Pardon me, Shingles Lifetime. I then will have the manufacturers field set to all manufacturers. Color as is, status active. Then we will click on search. The results have popped up in the results area below the blue column headers. All of the Shingles Lifetime products here are produced by GAF Elk. Or if a manufacturer produces multiple products and you want to take a look at all of them, you would leave product name blank and choose the manufacturer from the pull-down menu. And for this, we are going to select GAF Elk. Then use the pull-down menus to set the type field to all types and the status field to active. Clicking on search will again cause the results to pop up below the blue column headers. Now the results for GAF for GAF Elk include types of shingles, skylights, roof deck protection, and more. Folks, I paused briefly and inadvertently moved the pull-down menu So you may be seeing a slightly different view of the GAL search results as we resume. Nevertheless, to prepare an itemized estimate, let's use 3 items: labor, shingles, lifetime, and leak barrier. We'll go back to the jobs page. We've got itemized estimate highlighted. We will click on add item, and we will select labor from the type pull down menu. Let's see what we have for labor. There we have it, Trenton Roofing. It is the only option. I've selected it. Next up, we will go to shingles lifetime. We will search, and we've got many more choices this time. I seem to be partial to Biscayne Blue, so we've got Biscayne Blue. And last but not least, we will search for a leak barrier. 2 choices there. Weather Watch gets the call this time. So now we've got our 3 items lined up. For our itemized estimate, the itemized estimates tab remains active. It is dark blue. Now the figures currently visible for unit price and quantity are default numbers. In the case of unit price, it's 0.00, and in the case of quantity, it's 1. Now both of those numbers will change. To change the default number for price, put the cursor on the default price and right click. Then we will select override price, which is one of the 4 options in the pull down menu. I will type in the price of my choice and then click OK. We'll say labor is worth $20 an hour, so we've got 20. And as you notice, Rapid eManage will do the math for you as you move along. Going to do the same thing in terms of price for shingles. We will override the price. That will become $5 per shingle. We'll do the same with leak barrier. Now we're ready to move over into the quantity column. We'll put the cursor on the default amount and right click again. We will select edit mode. Again, one of the 4 options in the pull down menu. The cursor will now be highlighted on the default quantity. I will type in the actual amount, then click OK at the bottom of the jobs page. So we'll make it 20 hours for this particular job. I do want to save the changes. Shingles lifetime, we'll go with 100 of those. And leak barrier, we'll go with 4 of those. As I mentioned, Rapid eManage automatically updates the overall cost as you modify the price per unit and the quantity. So as you can see, our itemized estimate is at $1,500. Now the itemized estimate can be used again in Rapid eManage if the job is authorized by the prospect or repeat customer, in 2 places: in the daily work log while the job is in progress, and then in preparing the invoice when the job is completed. To save the itemized estimate, simply click OK. And now we will retrieve our call. Call status is going to be converted to job. There we can see that our itemized estimate is in place. And here actually we could change the job status if we wanted to estimate sent, and the system will ask us to record the date and also to enter the price of the estimate, which will appear in the general information up top. So as you can see, we've got the estimate price now. The estimate has been sent. Let's now move to the next blue details tab on the jobs page, and that is contracts. We're going to make the contracts tab active by clicking on it. Then we're going to right click in the area below the blue column headers. We've got 5 options. We're going to select the first one, that being add new. Select a contract from the letter type pull down menu at the top of the page. And contracts are another example of information that absolutely, positively needs to be loaded into Rapid eManage prior to using the software for real. Let's see what we're going to select today. About a repair and coat. And that's a one-page document, nice and easy. The purpose here is by preloading the contract information. You've got 95, 98, 99% of this information in the system because what you're going to do for a customer for that particular job is not going to change. Thus, it then becomes a matter of filling in blanks like type of building, dollar amount here. Now, if we were using Rapid eManage Live, you would fill in the blanks in the contract and then click OK. Rapid eManage will return to the jobs page with the contracts tab active, contract added, just a double click away with information under 2 column headers, the date of the contract, August 3rd, and the type of the contract, a repair and coat. If we right click below the column headers, that now brings up our options menu. If we wanted to edit the contract, we would click this. If we wanted to preview the contract, we would click this. May take a few seconds to pull up, but as you can see, there is our preview. If we were satisfied with the contract and wanted to email it to the recipient, we would simply click this because we would have collected the person's email address when the new call came in. Keep in mind that the demo version of Rapid eManage does not send out emails. And if we wanted to print the contract, we could do so here. Now, let's assume that the prospect or repeat customer, upon receiving and reviewing the contract, decides to sign it, authorizing the work. Put the cursor on an open area in the top of the jobs page. This is the gray area that displays general information. Right-clicking brings up a pull-down menu with many options. In this case, click on Update Job Status and then click on Jobs Sold. Note the date. As a result, the job status in the left column at the top of the jobs page now reflects the change from estimate sent to sold. It's now time to prepare for and then carry out the contracted work for the new or repeat customer. Let's return to the information area, the upper gray background of the jobs page. Again, I'm going to right-click to bring up the pull-down menu. Now, a contractor who is using the demo version because he is potentially interested in purchasing Rapid eManage should take the time to click through each option in the pull-down menu, and I promise we'll get to scheduling the work in just a moment. 2 items, permits and signs, correspond directly with the blue details tabs on the jobs page. As you can see, permits and signs. And these are 2 examples of the numerous ways within Rapid eManage to take a different path to the same information. The address of the prospect or repeat customer is entered on the new call page, so is the salesperson. But in this pull-down menu on the jobs page, there is an option to edit address as well as an option to assign sales staff. And there is that, in case it wasn't done earlier in the process. Now, once the job status is sold, which it is, we're going to work through the following blue details tabs: permits, schedule, notes, which we actually began with comments initially on the new call page, and work log. Now, first up is permits, and it is easy and fast. It really is. To record each step in the permit process eliminates the possibility of miscommunication. In this demonstration, I'll show the steps associated, assuming that a permit is needed, and I will start with permit needed. We're going to be asked for a date in each instance, and I'm just going to scroll back a few days. We determined that the permit was needed. We requested the permit. We were notified that the permit is ready for pickup. And lastly, we picked up the permit. Fast and easy, and again, if there is an arrow present in the blue column header, clicking on the arrow will resort the information. There is also functionality under the Permits tab to keep track of the cost of a permit, and as you can see, there are these 4 options here. The cost also could be written as a note under the Notes tab. For example, we could say and now we've got a general note here regarding the permit. And we also could put permit as an item when we were working on the itemized estimate. And it could be worked into the itemized estimate there, reflecting a total cost to the customer. Now, before I leave the Permits tab, need to go back to that, pardon me. Just want to let you know that there is inspection functionality present under the tab, and I will get back to that inspection functionality shortly. Next up is the Schedule tab. It is used to schedule the dates and times for work. Again, we're going to right-click in the bottom part of the screen, access the pull-down menu of options associated with the Schedule tab, and we're simply going to set a work date, but as you can see, there are other options in rescheduling work, unable to work, or cancel work. So let's say on the 3rd, we're going to work in the morning. We are going to take the weekend off. We'll be back on Monday the 6th in the afternoon, and we will finish up the morning of the 7th. And again, clicking the arrow can resort the order of the information. Now, the fact that we do have the work scheduled, it will be key to make sure that once one of our crews is heading out to the job site to do either a new installation or a repair, that the crew does not get lost. Now, Rapid eManage helps in that respect by linking directly to Google Maps. To use this mapping functionality, we'll make the blue Contacts tab active. We then will double-click on the record below the row of blue column headers to bring up the Customers page. Map, which I'm pointing to currently, is at the far right of the row of blue column headers. Clicking on Map below the blue Map column header will bring up the address on Google Maps. There were a few extra clicks in there, but you do see the mapping functionality. Now, the map with the location can be printed out and given to the crew before they even leave the office, eliminating the need for wasted time, wasted gasoline, etc. Unfortunately, Rapid eManage at this time does not carry mapping functionality for sales calls. If the sales call is to an existing customer, however, the mapping functionality can be utilized from the jobs page of an earlier job. I'm going to click back out of Google Maps, get us back to the jobs page. Next, I'll add a note under the Notes tab, and we've used this several times earlier. Again, the Notes tab is there to record pertinent information throughout the process of customer acquisition and service. A note could be about the day of work that has been completed or about the day of work that lies ahead. Right-clicking in the bottom of the screen brings up our options, and obviously we can even edit prior notes or view notes, but I'm going to add a new note. We click OK, and we've got our new note. And again, we can click the arrow to resort the information. The Work Log tab is next. The Work Log tab allows a contractor to keep track of expenditures of labor and materials versus the itemized estimate on a daily basis. First, we'll select the date for the work log entry. Then we'll right-click to get the Add Item option. Oops. Terry made an error here somewhere. We'll have to do an edit. Next, I'll add a note under the Notes tab. Use the Notes tab to record pertinent information throughout the process of customer acquisition and service. A note, which we've added a few already, could be about the day of work that has been completed or about the day of work that is ahead. To begin the process of adding a note, right-click in the bottom part of the screen for the pull-down menu of options associated with the Notes tab. We could edit notes, we can view notes, but here we're going to add another note. And again, we can click the arrow to resort the order of information. The Work Log tab is next. It allows a contractor to keep track of expenditures of labor and materials versus the itemized estimate on a daily basis. There's our itemized estimate. In order to work with the work log, we are going to right-click. Our only option is to add a work log entry, and we will make that entry today. And we'll simply bring back the 3 items that we have in our itemized estimate. Now in work log, we're just going to be changing the quantity. Now the ones are again default figures. Let's assume that at the end of the first day of work on a multi-day job, we figured that the number of leak barriers we're going to use on this job were 4. How many did we use? We used 2, and I do want to save the changes. Again, Rapid eManage, does the math. We've got 2 remaining. Let's move on to labor. Pardon me. Clicking, we'll use the shingles right now. Say we used half of our quantity of shingles in day one. I do want to save the changes. And now let's go back to labor. We used half of the amount of labor. And by clicking OK, Rapid eManage will compare the expenditures of labor and materials and put it into dollar values. So $550 worth of supplies, $200 worth of labor, versus our estimate price of $1,500. Now, work log entries can be produced at the end of each day, and this can be a good way for the contractor to notify a customer in advance if a project is going to cost more materials, more labor is needed. And the contractor also sometimes can get a job done for less labor and less materials, so wants to be able to account for that as well. So in order to have our work log entry where it belongs, we clicked OK. We've got our work log entry, and we will move forward in our demonstration. Next up, we have inspection functionality under the Permits tab. I alluded to this earlier. Let's assume that we've gotten through 3 days of work log entries. Our work has been completed. We did need a permit at the start of the work, so we do need to get the job inspected at the end of the process. So the job is ready for inspection. Let's see, we'll go back into July again. Job is ready for inspection. The inspector comes to visit. And there we are. We've got our inspection functionality complete. With the inspection complete, we can now update our job status again. Had been sold. We could have updated it as we were producing work log entries to in progress. We did not, however, but why don't we update it now to complete? Job status complete. And we're now ready to move into really wrapping things up. That would be preparation of invoices and payments. So why don't we take a shot at invoices? We did not require a deposit up front. The tab currently active is a dual function tab, both invoices and payments. We've made the tab active. We're going to then put the cursor in the area below the blue column headers. We're going to right click. We get our pull down menu. And we are going to add an invoice. Now the invoice can include a personalized statement, which I've typed. We click OK. Now we can bring back the items from the itemized estimate if we want to. However, in this case, I'm not going to do that. We could also remove certain items from the itemized estimate, but I'm not going to head down that path. I'm simply going to click OK. And now we've got our invoice available. And with the invoice available, right-clicking again gives us another handful of options. Previewing the invoice is one thing I'd like to show you. Now keep in mind that with things like contracts, invoices, etc., we have the ability to customize the look of your letterhead. That is something we do for a professional services fee. However, if you'd like to carry over the look of your letterhead into electronic communications that are generated by Rapid eManage, we can help you with that. So there is our invoice, and we've even captured the personalized message. So with the invoice in place, we need to have the customer pay, and there are various payment options within Rapid eManage. The payment options in Rapid eManage, in addition to cash, which you see now: check, credit card, money order, and credit. And if things deteriorate, you've got options bad debt and void, but let's not go there currently. If the payment is cash or credit, we type the amount of the payment into the field. However, if the other payment options are being utilized, such as credit card, money order, or check, you've got an option to put either a check number, and I'll just go in inverse order, a credit card number, or a money order number to further identify the payment. In this case, we'll simply say that the customer is going to pay by cash. The customer owes the contractor $1,500. Payment has been recorded. Again, the arrow can be clicked to resort the information. We now have a zero balance for the customer. Clicking OK. And now bringing us back to the jobs page. Now we have a handful of tabs still to go in our journey through customer acquisition and service. Next on the list is the Signs tab. And it is commonplace for contractors to place a sign for advertising purposes on a residential or commercial property when work begins, if allowed by the customer. And the sign usually stays on the premises for a short time after the job is completed. Now, the blue Signs tab on the Jobs page brings software-based efficiency to the utilization of signs. Signs do cost money. You don't want them developing legs and walking away. You'd like to get them back. You'd like to know where they are. So we've clicked on the Signs tab to make it active. Again, it's dark blue. And if we right-click below, we've got 5 options in the pull-down menu. Obviously, if the customer does not want a sign on his or her property, click on Not Authorized, end of story. However, if the customer agrees to allow a sign to be placed on the property, use one or more of the other 4 options. As a result, a contractor can track with just a few keystrokes when the sign is ready to be placed to when it has been retrieved. And I'll just walk through this just as I walk through permits. Quick and easy. Again, we'll click the arrow to resort the order. Next, I'm going to discuss intelligent routing, which actually is a combination in Rapid eManage of 2 blue details tabs, permits and signs, plus the mapping functionality that I showed you a bit earlier in Google Maps for calls that have been converted into jobs. Now, let's say it's raining on a weekday, thus most outdoor work for some types of contractors that work outdoors, such as roofers and pavers, is suspended. Want something to do that's meaningful to help the business? First, we would go to Reports on the main toolbar. We're going to leave the Jobs page temporarily. We'll be back to our friends at 2061 Kinter shortly. We click on Reports on the main toolbar and then Permits in the pull-down menu to glean information on which municipal buildings need to be visited to request or to pick up permits. Let's do a search for permits to be picked up. You can see we've got 5 pages, and we can use these arrows to click from one page to the next. Now let's go back and I'll show you a similar report for signs. Again, under the Reports tab, Signs, and we've got 2 possibilities: ready for drop-off, ready to be picked up. What do we want to search for? How about dropped off? And we've just got 1 page. Then the addresses can be plugged into Google Maps to construct the route. Contractors also can use the information in the permits and signs reports during a workday while traveling from one job to another, on the way to the first job of the day, or on the way home or back to the office after the last job of the day, to either pick up signs, pick up permits, etc. Save time, save gas, enhance efficiency. Now we're going to go back to the jobs page for our friends at 2061 Kinter, and let's discuss the 4 remaining blue details tabs. Other jobs. This provides a comprehensive history of the jobs carried out for that customer. This information also is available in the left column of the new call page, the search area, with customer information entered in the call entry area. Pardon me, yeah, with customer information entered in the call entry area. And if you'll recall, that makes the vertical jobs tab active if prior work was done for the customer. Now, the blue column headers here: job date, job number, POC, point of contact, job address, job type, job status, and accounting status. Now, clicking on a job record under the Other Jobs tab causes information to be displayed on it in the upper portion of the jobs page. And it will temporarily not be visible under the blue column headers. The Calls tab is next. Clicking on the Calls tab will bring up the record of the sales call and the View Calls page, which contains the status of the call: open, converted to a job, or closed. In this case, the call status is converted to a job. Emails tab. This would keep track of emails sent to a prospect or a customer. Information can't be stored under this tab in the demo version of Rapid eManage because email cannot be sent from the demo version of Rapid eManage. Email can be sent from Rapid eManage by contractors that purchase the software for reasons including submitting a contract for review or an invoice upon completion of work. And last but certainly not least, the Files tab. This can be used to attach electronic files to the job. We have made the Files tab active. It's dark blue. We right click, and if we hit Add Files, what you're seeing is the hard drive of my computer. Thus, files can be attached from any external drive, a hard drive, a CD/DVD drive, a thumb drive, etc. The Files tab can be used, for example, to attach before and after photos of the premises to the job record. The photos can then be used by the contractor to show his work to a prospect or repeat customer seeking the same kind of work. And after you have selected an electronic file, click Save File to attach it to the job, and then OK in the bottom right to complete the process. That concludes the portion of the demonstration devoted to customer acquisition and service, starting with a call to the contractor for an estimate, all the way to removing the sign from the customer's premises, and all the steps in between. Sorry folks, I jumped the gun just a bit before moving into the third and final part of the demonstration Two other tidbits. Let me go back to the record that we were working with. It'll take just a few seconds. Okay, I promised earlier that I'd add a subcontractor. A right click in the top part of the page opens a pull down menu. Assign contractor, and I will select Island Vinyl Siding, filling in the contractor area in the right hand column. And the other thing I'd like to show you is noting the labor warranty for the job. And you can see here that the warranty expires. It's the current date that the job was completed. In order to update the labor warranty, we would right click, go to warranty, update labor warranty. Let's say that the update is going to be for 5 years. I simply click on 5 years. Now we've got the warranty expiring on August 3rd, 2017. Okay, now it's definitely time for the third and final part. Let's take a look at the functionality that can be accessed via the main toolbar in Rapid eManage. We've already gone over some of it. For example, we've covered the process of customer acquisition and service that begins by clicking Calls on the main toolbar and then New Call. We've also discussed that the other option under Calls, View Calls, is a search page. Fill in the information in the criteria area at the top, and then click on Search to obtain results below the blue column headers. Now moving to Records on the main toolbar, 3 search pages, View Customers, again fill in results, View Jobs, and View Sites, and obviously sites also is synonymous with addresses. Let's take a quick look at the other 2 options under Records. You can add a customer to the database by clicking on New Customer and filling in the template. And you can add an address by clicking on New Sites and filling in that template. We've already discussed Calendar, which leads to the main calendar page. Next on the main toolbar, we move to Supplies. And there are 2 search pages. One is accessed by clicking View Supplies. This is a comprehensive list of the products you work with, and as you can see, additional information provided for each product includes the manufacturer and a color if it is important, as in the case of shingles for a roofing contractor. And the other search page under Supplies is accessed by clicking View Manufacturers. There are 3 search parameters, any, active, and inactive. I'll search for any, and the results will appear below the blue column headers. To make a manufacturer inactive, just remove the remove the check mark from the active box. And the other 2 options under Supplies allow you to add information to the database. To add a new product, fill in this form and click OK. And to add a manufacturer, fill in this form and click OK. The options under Staff are the same as under Supplies, 2 search pages and 2 pages that allow information to be added to the database. The two search pages are View Employees and View Contractor. The latter is used by Rapid eManage customers that employ subcontractors. On both the View Employees page and the View Contractors page, you can search using three parameters: any, active, and inactive. I'll use any as the search parameter on the View Employees page. Pardon me, in this case it's all. As you can see, some employees are active and some are no longer working for the company. Now, by clicking on a specific employee, information about that employee is accessed. Moving to the View Contractors page, I'll again use any as the search parameter. Some contractors are subcontractors are active and others are inactive. You also have the option to designate a contractor as primary and or preferred. And once again, clicking on an individual contractor, I am again choosing Island Vinyl Siding Incorporated, brings up specific information. The other two options under Staff allow employees and subcontractors to be added to the Rapid eManage database. Here is a form to fill in to add a new employee. And here is the form to fill in to add a new subcontractor. With both, click OK at the bottom to save the entry. The next item on the main toolbar is Reports. It has 9 options in the pull-down menu. The options start with Signs and Permits. And as I demonstrated earlier, it is fast and easy to use Rapid eManage to produce reports that provide a complete picture at that point in time of subcategories under Signs and Permits. The next two options are the accounting functionality that is built into Rapid eManage. Accounting status allows a contractor to get a look at business in general or for individual salespersons in a defined time period based on certain criteria. First, I'll produce a general report for June of 2011. When I click on the first day of the month, Rapid eManage automatically fills in the last day of the month. And the search criteria will be jobs that have been completed. And as you can see, clicking a main criteria will automatically make the sub-criteria active. In this case, the sub-criteria are invoiced, partial payment, and paid in full. To initiate the search, click Update at the bottom left. This search may take a few seconds to complete. Okay, the search produced 6 pages of results. We can see the 6 up here. All of the results are paid in full. No results for partial payment and invoiced were returned. And I'll click through the pages very quickly so you can see the numbers changing, job numbers changing, customer addresses, etc. changing. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. At the end of the report on page 6, we see that the amount the company earned for jobs paid in full in June 2011 was $211,74. Now let's search in the same month to see how individual salespersons fared. All I have to do to modify the search is to change report type at the top left. I'll click Update to Search and let's see what we get. 8 pages of results, led by 3 jobs that were paid in full but were not assigned to a salesperson. Then as I click through, the results are for individual salespersons. You can see that the same salesperson there. The first 3 pages, we have a new salesperson with 2 pages, and the third salesperson also with 2 pages. And at the end of the list for each salesperson is a total and an overall total. Next is accounts receivable. You can search by an individual date or a date range, and each of those searches can then be subdivided by salesperson. Let's use as an example a single date report for June 1st, 2011. And clicking update causes the search to begin. We'll give it a few seconds. The search brought back 5 pages total, and as you can see, there are individual columns for less than 30 days, 30, 60, and 90 plus. Now, clicking through the pages to get to the end on page 5, there are individual totals for each column. Now, let's do this same search, agent receivables, June 1st, 2011, by salesman. Give me just a few seconds to tee that up. Okay, our accounts consist of some unassigned jobs and then jobs assigned to 3 salespeople, a total of 8 pages. There's the first salesperson, there's the second, and the third. And again, there are totals at the bottom of each column on the last page. Next, we will move on to job status. Four types of reports can be produced. 2 are general reports. Of these, one is current and the other is a date range. The other 2 break down the results of current or date range by salesperson. The job status criteria and sub-criteria are immediately below in the left column. Let's begin by doing a search by date range, active jobs between June 1st and June 30, 2011. The results are all jobs that were sold. There are no results for jobs that were in progress or on hold. 4 pages of total results. Now, I will click through the pages so you can again see. There are our 4 pages. Now let's drill down one more layer to results in that date range by salesperson. There we have our results, and I believe we're going to find that these results are grouped by 3 salespeople. Yes, indeed. Up next is administration reports. And the only option available under it is unsent emails. Now, you likely were wondering why an unsent emails alert is visible in the lower right corner of the screen. As I mentioned earlier, this demonstration is being carried out using information with permission of a Rapid eManage customer. If this were a live version of the software, Rapid eManage would be regularly sending out emails, including those following up on estimates, which create the all-important new revenue stream for contractors. That is the nudge feature. The unsent emails alert becomes visible when an email remains unsent for 5 minutes. Then it is up to the user to go to the unsent email report to correct the issue. In the unsent email report, you can choose to cancel the email, change the address Rapid eManage is trying to send to, or retry to send the email. Some common causes for the unsent email alert to become visible include: the email has not been configured in Rapid eManage. I should say the email function has not been configured in Rapid eManage. The user is connected to the demo database, which does not send email, and that certainly is the case here. The password of the email account was changed, but not updated in Rapid eManage. The email address is not valid, and the email host will not allow the message to be sent. This is a common issue with AOL. And lastly, the email host or internet connection is temporarily down. In this case, Rapid eManage will automatically retry to send after an hour. What you see here is a list of emails that would be sent out by Rapid eManage if this were a live version of the software. Let's finish the options under reports by addressing labels and email. A contractor can use Rapid eManage to proactively market in 2 ways to existing customers and prospects, based on information in the database. One is via an email blast of an email template that is quick and easy to create, and the other is by creating labels for a mass mailing. Both work exactly the same way in that search results are delivered based on criteria selected: date range, price, city, and/or zip code. For labels, which I've brought up, you first select the Avery label size from the pull-down menu at the top. You then build your list of recipients. You can search the database in 3 ways: price, city, zip code. And to keep it simple, let's do a search for existing customers and prospects in Bristol, Pennsylvania. Click Add Labels. Just have to add a criteria here. And there are our results. Once that mass mailer is ready to go, you can reset Rapid eManage by clicking Clear Labels. Yes, I am sure I want to remove all labels. And for email, you can search the database in the same way. Let's execute the same search for customers and prospects in Bristol, Pennsylvania. It'll just take me a second to get back to emails. I clicked Add Emails, and there are our results. Now, the search results for labels and emails may be slightly different if the email address of each prospect and customer is not in the database. I can then send an email to these customers or prospects in Bristol by clicking Send, and these obviously I have an email address in the database for. As mentioned above, you can send a test email to one recipient to see how the email looks before sending the blast to the complete list. Once the email blast has been sent, you can reset Rapid eManage by clicking Clear Emails. Keep in mind that these two features, labels and reports, enable contractors to create new revenue streams by quickly and easily executing mass mailers and email blasts. This functionality is part of the reason we say with confidence that Rapid eManage pays for itself quickly. The next item on the main toolbar is QuickBooks, and under it are two options, Import and Synchronize. Both options are not active in the demo edition. Import is carried out as part of implementation of Rapid eManage after it is purchased by a contractor. Three types of information, customers, active employees, and job types, can be imported from QuickBooks into Rapid eManage. And Synchronize enables a contractor using Rapid eManage to avoid entering the same information into both QuickBooks and Rapid eManage. Information can be entered into one, and by clicking on Synchronize, it is duplicated into the other. Payment information, the most important information that would be synchronized between Rapid eManage and QuickBooks. And before I close on QuickBooks, Rapid eManage integrates with all versions of QuickBooks that are 2003 or newer, with the exception of the Starter Edition, which I understand is a rather bare-bones edition of the software. Next on the main toolbar is Administration, and I'll discuss two of the options, Settings and Templates. Under Settings, let's take a look at System Settings and Services. I mentioned earlier that clicking on Settings and then System Settings brings you to the vital System Settings page. On this visit, I'll zero in on the Nudge feature, the email template that automatically follows up on estimates. If you now are not doing any follow-up and are just waiting for existing customers and prospects to call back regarding estimates that you've sent, the Nudge feature will create a brand new revenue stream for you. If you or your employees currently make telephone calls to existing customers and prospects to follow up on estimates, the Nudge feature will automate that process and free those people involved to do other things. I'd like to share something eye-opening with you, 70%. What is eye-opening? Or why is it eye-opening, pardon me? It is eye-opening because that's the percentage of estimates that one customer of Rapid eManage turns into jobs thanks to the Nudge feature. Prior to Rapid eManage and the Nudge feature, that contract was turning 7% of estimates into jobs. A huge increase. Come to think of it, the huge increase is eye-opening as well. Obviously, we can't guarantee that you also will achieve the same huge increase. But just think of what it would mean to your bottom line if you upped your conversion rate of estimates into jobs to 20 or 30% without doing any extra work. That's because you set the Nudge feature and forget it. Well, you won't completely forget it. I'm sure you'll think of the Nudge feature when an existing customer or prospect calls and says something like, quote, "I got your email. I forgot about that estimate you sent to me a couple weeks ago. I'm ready to move forward. ... Unquote. Or, quote, "I got your email. I was out of town on vacation last week. I'm ready to move forward, ... Close quote. The nudge feature will eliminate what, unfortunately, is a valid complaint people have of contractors who do not follow up religiously on estimates. That complaint is, quote, "he never got back to me," unquote. So the email generated by the nudge feature will also enhance the professionalism, of your contracting business in terms of crisp, timely communication. It's quick and easy to get the nudge feature set to make you money. Click on follow up in the left column, which we had done to bring up the email. We've got a check mark in the active box. We've got the wording of the email in the body field. If you want to edit the wording, which is preloaded in Rapid eManage, you can do so simply by cutting and pasting your own wording from Word, or you can edit the existing copy. And then finish by setting the number of days in the send after field at the top. The number can be 1 to 90. I'm just going to put it on to 15. There we have it. The nudge feature will automatically deploy on a particular estimate after 15 days. The trigger mechanism is an open job status, meaning that the contractor has sent an estimate but has not heard back from the existing customer or prospect in 15 days. Let's now move to another option under Administration and Settings. It is Services. Just give me a few seconds to pull that up. This is the back end of the pull-down menu for Service Rec, short for Service Requested, on the New Calls page. There can be 4 types of services in Rapid eManage: installation, maintenance, repair, and other. Types of services are entered on the Manage Services page, and the services then show up in the pull-down menu of Service Rec on the New Call page. And let me just use Cupola as a quick option. You can see that we've got Cupola installation. On the Managed Services page, we've got Cupola maintenance, Cupola other, and Cupola repair. And let me just show you where these show up on the New Calls page. New Call page, I should say, pardon me. Service Rec. There are our 4 possibilities for Cupola. Now, the last option I'll discuss under Administration on the main toolbar is Contracts. This is how contracts are entered into Rapid eManage. Clicking on Administration, Templates, and then Contracts brings us to the Letter Templates page. Click on Add New at the bottom right to add a new contract. We would type in the name of the contract, paste the text of the contract into the field, and conclude by clicking Save at the bottom right. To edit a contract, we would go to the Letter Templates page and quickly edit as if we were editing in Word. Make the changes you want in the contract and then click Save in the lower right. It is time to bring down the curtain on our pre-recorded demonstration of Rapid eManage, information management software for contractors. I thank you very much for watching and listening. Please review the rest of the information on our Rapid eManage website, www.rapidemanage.com. And remember, Rapid eManage is all-in-one information management software for contractors. It offers robust functionality to collect, maintain, and utilize information you can't do without that pertains to the operations and back office portions of your business. This robust functionality is available for cost-effective pricing initially, and if you need to grow your Rapid eManage installation to match your company's growth. And Rapid eManage pays for itself quickly thanks to the nudge feature, that preloaded email template that automatically follows up on estimates, and the ability to create other email templates to proactively market to customers and prospects in the database. Rapid eManage can make a positive impact on your contracting business as soon as it is implemented, and you'll continue to enjoy the vast array of significant benefits stemming from enhanced efficiency generated by Rapid eManage for the long haul.